to the Humans vs. Retirement podcast with financial planner and retirement specialist Dan Haylett. In this podcast, Dan explores ways to help you overcome the behavioural, emotional and financial challenges of life after work. Join Dan for the journey where he will explore how our wonderful human brain will naturally fight against what it takes to live a happy, healthy and wealthy retirement. Dan will draw on years of expertise, experience and expert guests to solve the behavioural, emotional and financial challenges of life after work. Now, on to the show.
Hello and welcome to the Humans vs. Retirement podcast. I'm your host, Dan Haylett. Today's show is episode 27 and the final episode of season 2 of Humans vs. Retirement. It's been such an amazing 4 months with 14 amazing conversations, which I know through the feedback I've had has impacted the thoughts of many retirees across the world. And I wanted to share a personal thank you with you. I wanted to say thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been amazing so far. So season 2 has been truly brilliant. I wanted to share with you today 5 personal takeaways to really wrap up some of those conversations that I've had and to highlight some of the big things that I think, big themes that have come out of those conversations. Firstly, embracing change and growth. Episode 13 with Roger Whitney suggests a focus on actively shaping your retirement life. Episode 16 and 23 featuring Dr. Preston Cherry and Mike Drack, respectively. They emphasised embracing transitions and living a vibrant retirement, indicating the importance of personal growth and adaptability during retirement. The second thing was social connections and mental well-being. And I had such a brilliant conversation on episode 14 with Jordan Hutchinson on the power of social connections and flow in retirement. And Jordan highlighted the significance of maintaining social ties and engaging in fulfilling activities for mental health and happiness in retirement. Particularly looking at, engaging with many generations of people, understanding and keeping up with current trends and making sure that that feel young at heart adage that we all know. Number 3 was about financial planning and security. Several episodes over season 2, such as episode 15 with Wade Fowl, talking about retirement income styles, and episode 22 with Lyle Sussman and David Dabowski, where they discuss the balance between financial security and personal fulfillment, which really indicates the careful need for financial planning and management, investment management for security in retirement. A big theme was health and wellness. The importance of maintaining physical and mental health is so important. For example, episode 17 with Dr. Myra Summers on preventing cognitive decline and understanding what that means. Episode 19 with Dr. Phil Perlman on the interconnection of health and wealth and how health and wealth is is two sides of the same coin. Show the emphasis on truly holistic well-being. And then finally, inspiration from real life stories. Episode 26, the last episode, featuring my wonderful client Neil Jones and his real retirement story. And other episodes within season 2 highlighted real retirement stories and how they have impacted people across the globe. And they are likely to provide inspiration, and they will absolutely provide practical insights from real life experiences, showcasing diverse approaches to their retirement. The bottom line is retirement is a very unique, tricky, and emotional subject, and one that does require planning, thought, and guts to do properly. So here's my firm belief. The vast majority of retirees going forward will be what I see and define as retirement rebels. Now, what do I mean by retirement rebels? I hear you say. Well, I believe people entering into retirement now and in the future will want to be free from corporate shackles to explore opportunities and untraveled roads. They will want to continue to grow, have purpose, and be everything they can be, irrelevant of age. They'll be creative, adventurous, and thrive on new challenges. They will have dreams, goals, ambitions that all need to be achieved. They will be happiest when doing fun, interesting, exciting, and slightly scary stuff. And they will know that fun lies out of their comfort zone. However, they will be stepping away from a phase of their life where they have identity, they have purpose, they have social connections and tribes, they have money security, and they have a concept of time, into a place where they must have answers to questions like, who am I? Why should I pull back the duvet? Who is in, and how do I build my tribe? How do I spend my money and see my hard-earned capital deplete? And how am I going to fill my day? Because it fundamentally boils down to truly understanding these two things. Number one, how are you going to spend your time? And number two, how are you going to pay for it? The problem being, you can't answer number two until you've answered number one. That is the dilemma that a modern day retiree faces. They are rebellious in nature, yet there's a lot of soul searching to be done in order to ensure that their retirement is aligned with that rebellious nature and will give them everything they want it to give them. I was fortunate enough to be asked to be a guest on the brilliant Morning Star's Long View podcast the other day and to talk all things retirement. And I was asked a great question that I want to share with you and share my answer. The question was, what do you think is the biggest misconception that people embarking on retirement have? The biggest misconception that people embarking on retirement have, and the thing they get wrong, is, in my opinion, the amount of time they think they have to truly enjoy the fruits of all their hard work. You've heard me talk before, if you've listened to the podcast episodes, about the go-go years. That's what I'm talking about. Taking advantage of those go-go years, or as Mike Drack beautifully puts it, your victory lap. How do you start to think about time in that way? How do you start to realize that health span is much less than lifespan? How do you better prepare as a retirement rebel for your victory lap? Questions that are really challenging to answer. And as I said, takes planning, thought, and guts to delve to a place you need to get to truly live a happy, healthy, and wealthy retirement. So if you're thinking about retirement or are in retirement and maybe feeling a bit of a rut or a bit stuck, I'm sure you're wondering where to start. Well, I've got some free resources for you to get your teeth into. Firstly, make sure you go back and listen to every episode of this podcast. There will be and there is wisdom and learning from all of those conversations across many different topics. Secondly, get free access to my retirement toolkit. It's got videos, guides, workbooks, and quizzes that will really get those retirement juices flowing. It will show you some of the gaps and will also show you some of the opportunities. Thirdly, visit the Humans versus Retirement website to see and read my latest blogs, have a look and download my latest sketches that cover the most important topics of a modern day retirement. And I try and distill them down and simplify them to ensure that they hit home and make a massive impact. And lastly, download a free PDF copy of the brilliant book Enough by Paul Armson. We're fortunate enough to have gone into partnership with Paul, which allows us to offer a free PDF book to you. It's a short but hugely thought-provoking read that I know will have a big impact. We have many physical copies as well, so please reach out if you prefer the touch, feel and smell of real paper, and I'll be more than happy to pop one in the post to you. All links to those 4 things will be in the show notes. So that just leaves me to say a massive, heartfelt thank you for tuning into the show. I'm going to take a break for a few weeks, enjoy my Christmas and enjoy the new year, and come back with season 3 mid to late January. So I hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and see you all in 2024. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Humans versus Retirement podcast. Subscribe to be notified when new episodes become available. We would love to have you along for the journey. If you like what you heard, then we would appreciate you taking a few minutes to leave us a review. And lastly, if you want to explore your retirement plans further, download our free 7-step retirement GPS toolkit linked in the show notes. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guests and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of TFP or Dan Haylett. This content is not intended to be a substitute for professional advice, so please always seek the advice of professionals with any questions you may have regarding your retirement.